name is Cynthia Martins, and see this about. Should I read it out? It's weird reading about myself. Okay, so Cynthia is a skilled marketing professional with expertise in corporate communications and project management. With a passion for helping others grow, Cynthia guides individuals on effective communication strategies and professional developments. Through engaging workshops and practical insights, she empowers fresh graduates and professionals to navigate the job market with confidence. Now that we have read the official intro, my name is Cynthia. And yes, I work in marketing and corporate communications. Um, I am a mom. I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I always say that I'm a mom because I feel like it feels like the highest achievement of my life, really. I have a super adorable daughter, and yeah, highlights of my life. So let's just get right into this so that we're not taking too much time. Let's have a brief overview of the importance of professional communication. Now, what is communication, first of all? Communication, some people would say, is the act of talking or expressing yourself, but I feel like it is deeper than that. And the reason that I say that is because communication can only be considered effective when both parties involved understand each other. So if you've communicated something or you've said something and the person to whom you are saying it does not understand or has not gotten the message the way that you intend for them to, then we cannot say that effective communication has occurred. All right. So there's now the type of communication called, or what I would call, corporate communication. Now, when how many of you will agree with me that talking to your friend and talking to your boss are two completely different things? You could be saying the same thing to both of them, but the way that you would say it would differ. Does anybody agree with me? I want the session to be interactive. It will help me know that I'm not just talking to myself. You don't have to unmute for the sake of noise or distractions, but we can use the chat box so that I just know that I'm talking. All right, so somebody said, yes, I agree. I can't see your name. I'm so sorry. It shows Zoom user. It would have been nice to know your name. But yes, you say you agree. How many of you now agree further that the way that you would communicate something to your colleague might be different from how you would communicate that same thing to your boss? How many of us agree? Okay, I'm seeing agree in the box. All right. And what's the reason for this? It's because in communication, who you are trying to communicate with is just as important as the message. Say you walk into office, you see your colleague Shola. Hey Shola, how far? Good morning. You guys are colleagues. Your boss, no matter how much close in age you people are, you just know that it's the same good morning, but there's a way you say it that will just be different from how you greeted Shola just a few minutes ago. All right. And that's just really it. Now, taking it further down, corporate communication is, in very simple terms, how you communicate in a corporate setting, in an official setting, usually completely different from how you communicate in unofficial settings. Like what we learned in secondary school, formal letter and informal letter. All right. It is so important to learn how to communicate professionally. It is so super important because communication is everything. It's like the lifeline of a corporate environment. It's what determines how long you will keep your job. Let's be realistic. All right. And in context of this training, it's what determines, it could literally be the determining factor in your ability to land a job. It's that serious. All right. One of the main reasons why I decided to have this training is because of something that happened. I don't know how many of you are here from the job offers group page of Great Minds. If you're not, the the incident happened on the job offers group page. All right, I'm not going to be naming names, okay, but I'm just going to share what happened. Someone posted a link to a job and said, maybe it was Mr. Larry posted a link to a job, and then he said, click the link. The message said, click the link to apply. All right. And I don't know how, until now, I don't even know how my email address got on that group page. But somehow somebody sent me a mail saying they were applying for that job. And it was it was really funny. Let me try to I really hope that I don't show their details. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to display it. But I wanted to show you guys, or let me read out how the person sent it. It was very funny. Just a moment, please. Okay, I found it. The person said, "Dear sir, kindly consider my humble application for the subject advertised job on social media. I believe that I can fit into any of these roles as I have worked as a customer service personality and a marketer with publicity and advert orientation. I promise a solid delivery if given the opportunity. Attached with is my resume for reference. Thank you for your time and consideration. Yours faithfully, da 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 da." So, obviously, knowing that I'm not the recipient, I'm not supposed to be the recipient for that email, because even myself, I was trying to apply to the job. The person said, I now responded to the person and said, I'm not sure you should be sending this to me, as I myself am applying for the role. The message said to fill the form on the link. Trying to help. Then the person replies me and says, please send me their email address, please. Thank you. And I said, I don't have it. I simply filled the form. You should too. Now, I also wish I really wish I could display the email the way it was written. A person didn't start sentence with capital letter. The person had tab, a lot of tabs. The message was all over the place. I don't want to display it because I didn't blow out the person's picture, and their picture is on their Gmail account. Okay, based on what I read, I want one person to unmute. If you were the hiring manager and you read that message, what are your first thoughts? I wish I could show you, really. It would have been a better way to judge. But based on what I read, what are your thoughts? Okay, we even have an HR person in the building. Let me let me ask her to tell us what she thought of what I just read. Hi, Kemi. I will probably introduce you much later, but I just want to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this message I just read out?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hello, Cynthia. Well done. Okay, so I think it wasn't properly constructed, number one. Number two, your communication is not professional at all. I mean, the communication of the person, rather, was not professional in any way. All right. And when you're communicating, apart from your letters, you also have to pay attention to punctuation, because just like you said, it's all two people. So what you're intending has to be well received by as a feedback, right, from the source to the what will I call it now, to the other person at the other hand. So it has to be well received. So what the person wrote in the email was not so well concise. So it doesn't show professionalism in any way.
Right. Thank you very much, Kemi. So, it just didn't give the corporate communication. All right. And I'm going to get into this much later, but the person did not sell themselves to me. You start the mail with, kindly consider this my humble. The person even said humble appreciation for the subject advertised. What subject? So there's it just was not a professional communication. So when I saw that mail, I felt like, oh my God, this person might even have the skills. Let's not completely dismiss them, but they have not accurately communicated. It's just not correct. That's just how I can put it. And so that already has closed that door to them. So I feel like what we have in Nigeria, beyond the normal unemployment problem, there's also the fact that a lot of graduates, in my opinion, are not properly prepared for how to apply for a job. It's one thing to have a CV. Funny enough, you can even pay somebody to do a CV for you and you will have a world-class CV. But how you send that CV is just as important as the CV itself. Like if I was hiring and I saw this mail, I won't even bother opening your CV because I can only imagine if your mail, body of your mail is like this. I'm not going to take the pain of opening your CV. It's just not attracting to me. All right. So bottom line, how you send your CV matters, especially when somebody says, send your CV to this email address. Do you just attach your CV and just send? Or do you just say, oh, let me shock you? I also got another mail from somebody else. I don't know why they keep sending me mails. I'm not hiring. And this person literally just attached their CV and the person said, dear ma or sir, I'm interested. I'm interested in being part of your organization warrior family. I will appreciate if I'm given the opportunity to come for interview. That's what the person wrote. It's just, and then they attached their CV as a document. Now I'm going to get into all of that. How you send your CV matters, especially when somebody says sends it to a particular email address. Now let's look into some key elements, for sending a professional email. All right. Number one, the subject line. The subject line that you use for your email matters. And what it should typically be should be the title of the job role that was advertised should be, you could put, if say, for instance, they are hiring a marketing executive, your subject of the mail, never send a mail without subject, because these guys receive tons and tons of mails. Sometimes the mails are not even strictly restricted to people that are applying for jobs. It could also be their work email. So they are also checking through work stuff. How they know what emails to prioritize, what email to read right now is by the subject. I want to be able to take one glance at the list of mails and know which one I need to open first. So your subject matters. Your subject is like your knock on the door. All right. Typically, what it should be is the job role dash your name. Marketing executive Cynthia Martins. And you can leave your name out of it, but I recommend probably putting your name. But the job title matters because, like I said, they are receiving tons of mails. And it might not be only marketing executive that they're hiring for. So when you send a mail and say, I'm interested in the role, which role? They can very easily know the role that you're applying for just by seeing your subject. All right. So a typical correct subject for a mail where you're applying for a job would be the job role. That's your name. Name is give or take, can be left out, but the job title matters. Now to the body of the mail. Start by I don't want to say start by doing a bit of a greeting. All right. And it's not because, for me personally, it doesn't matter much if you start your mail with, I hope this mail meets you well. It doesn't matter much to me. To some people, it would matter. So just play it safe and just put a greeting. Why in Nigeria, where respect is a big deal, So start with dear ma, sir. Or, I'm sorry, I'm not really a dear ma, dear sir person. I prefer that you use dear hiring manager. That covers for male and female, and it just sounds more professional. Then if the person now replies or they reply you and it's a particular person, you can now start to address them by their name. But at the point of sending, I prefer that you do dear hiring manager. It's just better for me than dear sir or ma. That's what I have used and that's what has worked for me so far in my career. I hope this mail meets you well. Next thing you want to do is introduce yourself. My name is Cynthia, blah, 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 blah. I am this. You can now say, I don't want to give you specific words to use, but you can now go into following your adverts, or if it was somebody who recommended you, so person said to send my CV to you. I am, then you now sell yourself, the body of the mail, sell yourself. You now begin to tell them why you're the perfect person. So it's like a cover letter, but it's not a cover letter. I don't know how to say this. It should not be too long, obviously, please. Few lines. Let me give you an example of, let me read out something that a template, something that I have sent out myself. So I'm not just using hypotheticals. Okay. Here is one that I sent out a while back. So I said, "Dear hiring manager, I hope you're doing well. I was recently in contact." Now, this one, I was reaching out to somebody who told me to share my CV to that email address. So I said, "I was recently in contact with XXXXS, who suggested that I share my CV with you for potential opportunities within your company." Now, this was a potential. There was no particular role being advertised. In the case of a role being advertised, you say, share my CV with you for the role of, you put the job role. All right. I'm interested in exploring. So my own, I said, I'm interested in exploring any roles that align with my skills and experience. Please find it at my CV for your review. I'd be grateful for the opportunity to discuss how my background in branding and marketing communications could be a valuable addition to your team. Thank you for your time and consideration. Now, in this case, there was no specific role being advertised, all right, that I was applying for, rather, so I just sent a cold email. That's what we call it. Now, for another one, I said, "Hello, hiring manager. My name is Cynthia Martins, and I am writing to express my interest in the role of dash, 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 dash. With over 3 years experience in dash, 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 and up to 4 years in marketing, I believe that I am a perfect fit for this role." I sold myself. I had to tell them, "Look, I have experience in this thing." And then I now talked about my skills, soft skills like teamwork, effective communication, and then actual skills. If it's a job that requires some particular tools, mention the tools that relate to that job that you are excellent at using. To close your mail, I would like an opportunity to talk about my skills, or I look forward to an opportunity to sit down with you to talk about how my skills can be beneficial to your organization. Now, sorry, let me mention this. I'm so sorry, guys. Zoom, I don't have Zoom Pro. So if this runs out, if the meeting ends, please just click the link and join again. All right. If it cuts, just join again. I'm so sorry about that. I couldn't figure out paying for Zoom Pro before this. Probably should have done Google Meet, but yeah, we're here now. All right, so keep your mail short but professional. You're not talking to your bestie. You are talking to a potential person that wants to pay you salary. All right, keep it short, but sell yourself. Sell yourself. Let them read your mail and want to see your CV. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Let them see your mail and say, "Okay, let me go and know more." All right. So some common mistakes that people make in sending these mails is using informal language. All right. You're not talking to your party. Yeah, it's a corporate environment. And then another mistake people make, I think I made that mistake myself too. I forgot to actually attach the CV. All right. It is the worst thing that can happen when you say, "I'm applying, my CV is attached," and the CV is not now attached. All right. Sometimes you only get one shot at these things. All right. So make use of that opportunity. Not everybody has the time to read 1 million messages. And always assume that these people are going through lots of mails. What is going to make my own stand out? That should always be your goal. Keep it formal, sell yourself, and don't forget to attach your CV. Now, for your closing and signature, people do a lot of "yours faithfully," "yours sincerely." I don't know what obtains. We'll ask the HR professional at the end of this session. But for me, I prefer to just keep it simple and say "kind regards, best regards," or "regards." I don't know what obtains. The HR person will tell us, but it has worked for me so far. I can't remember last time I did "yours faithfully," "yours sincerely." I just do "best regards," or "kind regards," or "warm regards," or just "regards," and then your name underneath. All right. Uh that's I hope you guys are getting it. Does anybody want to ask me a question so far with where we have gotten to? Any questions for me based on what I just said about how to send your CV? Any questions for me? Anybody? Do you want to, you can put it in the comments if you don't have a question so far. If you have a question, oh, someone has a question. Okay, please unmute your mic. Or do you want me, can you unmute? I don't know if the settings, let me just ask to unmute. Okay, unmute your mic, please, and ask your question. Thank you.
Good evening, Cynthia.
Hi, good evening.
My name is Sonia.
Oh, hi, Sonia. Thanks for joining.
Okay, my question is regarding sending the CV.
Yeah.
Is it mandatory that you introduce yourself or sell yourself, or is it based on request from the HR?
So it's best to, like I said, this person is probably you're not the only one applying. Always keep that in mind. You are most likely not the only person applying. So you want to sell yourself. What would make you different from the next person? I feel it's like a way of saying you don't have to come to my bedroom to know that my house is beautiful. The front of my house will be neat. Do you understand? So the body of your email is like a sneak peek. Let me show you, let me give you an idea of how awesome I am. You'll see my CV, but let me give you an idea. That's what it is, really. It's not a compulsory thing, but it just doesn't feel very ambitious or professional when you just say, hello, I'm interested in the role. See my CV attached. Versus somebody who says, I'm interested in this role. I have experience in this, and this. I believe that I am the best fit. Like it already is giving confidence in the words of our Gen Z. It's giving confidence. It's giving, don't look too far. Don't go and be opening many CVs. I'm already here for you. So it's like a pre-introduction to you before they see your CV. So I think that it is very recommended that you do it, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you so much.
Like I said, it can be 3-4 lines. You saw the ones I read, they were not long. My name is Cynthia. Yes. I'm applying for the role of this. I believe that I'm the best candidate for this role because I have so number years of experience in a similar role, or I have the skill set required for this role. If it's a role that has specific tools that they use in that role, like maybe they use a lot of Excel or they use a lot of PowerPoint. I'm very skilled in using also PowerPoint. It's like a small sell yourself before they get to your CV to know more. It just makes you stand out from the 100,000,000 candidates that applied for that role.
Okay. Then somebody that sends a CV with just the subject without attaching anything, where does that person stand?
The person don't understand anywhere. The person don't know. In that case, if you forget, see, I don't think that anybody expects you to be perfect. And I think it's one of the things that we've been trying to discuss with HR professionals. Stop expecting people to be perfect. Mistakes can be made. Resend.
Okay.
Resend it.
Okay.
You can include an apology. I'm so sorry. I realized that the last mail did not have the attachment. Please find attached. It would be very unfair for anybody to judge you for that. It will be unfair. Anybody can forget, but just make sure you don't forget. So what I do most times is I attach first before I write. And please, like I said, don't forget to put a subject. Your subject is what will make me decide whether I want to open your mail. In my workplace, a lot of people, I handle a lot of requests because I work with a number of teams. I work with the sales teams, I work with the CX team, I work with the design team. So there's a lot of mail coming in. Your subject is what will make me know whose mail to open first. It will tell me which one is urgent. So when you're applying for a job, assume that this HR is going to be receiving different mails for different roles. How is this person going to know what I'm applying for? All right, always have that at the back of your mind. And your subject should be the title of the role dash your name. You can leave your name out, but I recommend just put it to be safe. But don't forget to put the job role. If they said GT Bank is hiring for the role of sales girl. As you hit the email address, subject first takes application for the role of sales girl dash Peace or Kemi. Or you can leave your name out and just put application for the role of sales girl. So the person opens their mailbox, sees a ton of emails, but sees application for the role of sales girl. Oh, okay, that sales girl I've been looking for. The person clicks. Versus if there's nothing there. The person has tons of mails to it. So the person is checking which one can I trash out first. All right. Your goal should always be, how can I stand out? What can I do? Because, like I said, I don't need to come to your bedroom to know that you're neat. The front of your house will tell me. I shouldn't have to see your CV. It should be only your CV that can tell me about you. That's far. That's far. Very far. That's your introduction, even first of all, to give me a clue about you. All right. So that really, honestly, that was just that's what this training is about. This thing I've just said, I feel like we've touched what the training is about. I was just worried about how people send their CVs. Like I said, it's not a training for CVs. I don't offer CV writing service. This is not an attempt at advertising a CV service. If you want someone to help you out with your CV, check online, check for people that write CVs. I have a friend that does it. If you want his number, I can give it to you. But me, I don't write CVs for people. I don't have the time. I just wanted to do a training about how to send your CV. Because if you pay somebody to do a CV for you, but you are not now sending it the right way, there's problem. And I also wanted to say this. Always read instructions when someone asks you to hire. If they say, click this link to apply, you should not be asking for the email address to send it to. Click the link. If they say, send it to this email address, send it there. I don't know how to say this, but that's how to say it. Read instructions. Read instructions. If it's a flyer, read instructions. Instructions are so important. They are the vital part. If the person says, when sending your CV, don't forget to also send a cover letter. And somebody just sends you the picture and say, how far apply for this job, and you just send your CV without cover letter. You have lost that opportunity. Pay attention to instructions when you're applying for a job. All right. We'll move to another part of the training that I call a bonus training. You're welcome. This part was not really included in the
by clicking on your CV, right? So it is very, very important to sell your cover letter. Just like Cynthia said, you should always assume that HR have a lot of recruitment notifications to look into. So, but then if yours is like one of the showing green flag, yeah. So if yours is showing a green flag, all right. I think someone is on mute. Okay, let me continue. So if yours is showing a green flag, I'll be so eager to even read more about you. What's the last question? Can't really remember right now. If there's any question I think I've not answered.
I can't see any questions anymore in the chat, but I think that you've covered it. I think that you've
okay.
All right.
Okay, so I just wanted to add
I think Carol has a question. Hi, Carol.
Hi,
Carol. Good evening.
Good evening.
So this question is to the HR expert and on the call.
Right.
I would like to know, so in cases where, now this is a general question, not particularly to the session that Cynthia just had. Cases where someone applies for a job, you apply for a job, you get no response. What happens in that case? I mean, you do play, to the best of your knowledge, you do your part. Right. You write the perfect cover letter, make sure your attachments are up to date, and then you apply for the role, and then you it's just, crickets for, as long as it takes. What happens there? Is it a you don't fit the position type of situation, or is it just what happens there?
Okay, so if I get your question very rightly, is if you tick all the boxes in applying for a job role and all of that, and you don't get a feedback, what could be the situation? What could have gone wrong? Am I right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, that would be like we're already like jumping. All right, but then I'll just ask in summary, because what I'm also going to just talk about will also give you some key pointers to why you were not properly why you were not called back or given a feedback after your interview. So basically, it's just that you don't think tick the boxes of the recruiter. That's like in summary. So just be patient and just wait till the end of the session so we don't cut into the session. So Cynthia, you can continue.
Right. Okay. So that was the surprise I said I had for you guys at the beginning of this training. I actually invited Kemi. She's a HR personnel, and she's like the bonus that I am adding to this training. She's going to tell you what recruiters typically look out for. We are doing our parts now by training ourselves to make sure that we tick all the boxes. We send a professional cover letter. We make sure the body of our email is perfect. We send a good CV. But she will now tell us on their end what they look out for, right? So Carol, just pay attention. She would answer your question when we get there. Now, like I said, the bonus part of this training, interview preparation. You see, there are very few pains in the world, like the pain of getting invited for an interview. And as they're asking you questions, you realize how very unprepared you are. This has happened to me before. It happens to the best of us, all right? But you can do something about it, okay? So when someone tells you, send your email to that person, or you apply for a job, the first thing you want to do is research. Not just research about the company, research about the role. Now, I work in marketing, all right? And where I work, the unit is called Marketing and Corporate Communication. So we handle both the internal communication within the company to staff, external communication to clients, and then marketing, social media, billboards, and all of that. Now, in a banking setting, when you hear marketing, it's different because it means going out to find customers, right? In a banking setting, except they're talking about the back end marketing team that do what I do. When you hear marketing, typically, when you see a role and they say marketing, some people actually think it's just go and enter the street and find customer. Please tell me that I'm not wrong. I'm not exaggerating. There are people that actually think that, right? That marketing is go out and go and find customers. Anybody want to confirm or deny or tell me that I'm wrong? Please, though, let's make this interactive. I'll feel like I'm talking to the air. Please, somebody can unmute or type in the chat and tell me that when you hear marketing, a lot of the time, you think that it's go out and find customers. All right. So imagine if you have that meeting, somebody said meeting targets. That's what a lot of people think about marketing. I'm telling you, I've been working in marketing and corporate communications for 4 years, and I've never had any targets because the marketing and corporate communications that I do has to do with the back end aspect of marketing a company, being the light and sound of the company, the billboards, what you see on social media, what you see on the website, how the company is sold. That's what I handle. I've never gone outside to go and look for customer. There's a completely different unit for that. So imagine if my kind of company now says they're hiring for marketing and corporate communication, or they just put marketing exec, and you just assume that they're looking for somebody that will go and bring customer. And you happen to not be the type of person that likes to go and bring the customer. You will just not apply because you did not do research. Don't assume that you know what a role is about. Research about that company and what that role means in that company. How would you find out? LinkedIn can help. People underestimate what you can do on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn and literally just search the name of the company. Find people that work there. It's like corporate stalking. All right, do it. It's research. It's research. Because imagine if you just hear marketing exec and you already think, it's to go and sell something, and you get to the interview and they're asking you, how often would you say we should post on social media? And you're wondering, post on social media. Oh, what's my own with social media now? Should be me, I want to go and be selling something on the streets, so research, do your research about the role, do your research about the company. HR can ask you, how many arms does this business have? For example, I work with ARM, and the ARM business is so broad. We have the pensions arm, we have the investment arm, we have the trustees, we have, so imagine coming to an interview and they say for ARM Group, they not specify which of the businesses they're hiring for, and they ask you, how many businesses do we have? And you say, I don't know. And in your mind, you're feeling like, why would you ask me that I don't work there? It just shows a very serious lack of preparation. Don't be caught unawares like that. You can't want to work for a company and you don't know anything about them. So before an interview, the moment you get an invite, in fact, the moment you apply for a job, that's how to show that, that's how to add faith to work. Don't do add the moment I'm sending my CV, I'm already reading about the company. I'm already checking who works there on LinkedIn, and then I'm researching about the role. That's my faith mixed with work. I'm doing the work, and they've not invited me for interview yet, but I'm already doing faith with work. All right. So know about the role, know about the company. Then do some practice questions. Try to when in your research, when you find out things about the company, try to figure out what could possibly turn out to be a question. I attended an interview recently and they asked me, we started work on a very big campaign recently. Or they asked me, which of our campaigns do you know? Because I was applying for marketing role, obviously. Which of our campaigns do you know? Now imagine I say, I don't know, I don't work there. How will I know the campaign that you are running? It's not so I already anticipated that because of the kind of role I'm applying for, these are the kind of things they will ask me. So I already did my research. I already checked for all the campaigns they were running and I wrote all of them down. Funny enough, see, I took the interview on this table. See the paper. I did my research and I wrote down. And then I wrote down all the possible things they could possibly ask me. What if they ask me who is even the head of the units that I want to work for? Oh, I research. So in fact, when I joined the interview and the lady introduced herself, I said, "Oh yes, nice to meet you. You're the head of." That already gave them a sign of, okay, this person, she already knows. Do your research and anticipate questions that can come from your research, from the things that you find. Which of them can they possibly ask? And then, apart from knowing about the company, general questions, they can ask you, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And while you want to say things like, I will be married or I'll have 3 children, funny enough, those answers are cool because they kind of tell the HR about your personality. But you also want to have career goals. Like you want to tell them, I see myself having grown in this company, being better at doing this, doing that. Just write down. See, I'm insisting, write down, like actually take a pen and paper and write down possible questions and how you would answer them. Now, most HRs always ask, do you have any questions for us? I think that it doesn't really go well when you say, I don't have anything to say. People want to, it's like when you go out on a date for the first time, and you are the one asking the person all the questions. The person is not asking any questions. The person is just answering your questions. Even though the person is talking, that conversation can still feel monotonous. It's like, don't you want to know anything about me? I'm not going to ask me questions. So see your interview as a first date. Have potential questions you could ask them. You can ask them, the person who filled this role before me, what was it that they did right? Or what was it that they didn't do right? Or what counts as success in this role? Or what's the structure of the company like and where would I fit in? Have questions. Just say something. Don't let it just be a monotonous conversation. They're just talking, you're just answering. It just gives the impression that you don't necessarily have a mind of your own. You just wait for challenges to be thrown at you and then you try to solve it. All right. So have a few questions of your own that you would ask the interview. Now that's for preparing for the interview. Now, during the interview, I feel like I should have let Kemi even handle this part safe. Anyway, she'll still talk to us. Body language, eye contact, firm handshake, sit straight up. See, how many of you have heard this saying before? Fake it till you make it. Or how many of you have heard packaging? Everything is packaging. Everything is packaging. You see, as much as that thing sounds like a dishonest thing, it's not a dishonest thing. No. It works. How you carry yourself. Now, what's the difference now? As I'm wearing this shirt now, it was not an expensive shirt, all right? Do you know that somebody else could wear this same shirt, wear this same neck piece I'm wear this same hair I'm wearing, and both of us will walk into a room and there'll just be a difference between both of us. Let me tell you what the difference can be. I could walk into the room and, hi everyone, good afternoon, good to meet you, thank you, and I sit down. And the second person comes in, good afternoon, hi, good afternoon everyone, hi, thank you. And the person finds one place to sit. While wearing literally the same thing. We're probably even both there for an interview. But the difference between me and the person is that I'm exuding confidence. It's not just what you wear. It's not just what you know. It's how you are presenting yourself. You can have all the head knowledge, but if your courage, your confidence is not on point, it's already it's already cutting out of your marks. All right. Make eye contact when you're talking to people. Don't look down. Now, I understand that we live in a culture where they are very big on respect. And I remember as a child, I always tell this story to people. I was a very, very confident child growing up. Till one day, one of my uncles was talking to me. He was scolding me for something, and I was looking right at him. And then he said, why are you just looking into my eyes? And he put his hand and did like this. Why are you just looking into my eyes? Are you a witch? How can an adult be talking to you and you're just looking like that now? While there is the place of the culture and the respect and everything, in a professional environment, please make eye contact. It doesn't matter whether you're talking to the CEO. Maintain eye contact with them at an interview. When you're looking down a lot, or they ask you a question and you're saying, it's not giving. That's how I can say it. All right. If it's a physical interview, maintain happy. When they say nice to meet you, they shake their hand, shake. Someone once told me that I shake like a man because I have a very firm handshake. I don't shake. You see those when women say shake softly. Me, I shake. If I hold you in a handshake, I don't squeeze, but I have a very firm handshake. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Cynthia. What's yours? Confidence. Confidence. All right. And please sit straight up. We have this, I don't know if I've seen this research where they say that the average person, especially because of pressing phone, we have bad sitting posture. A lot of us now almost have self-inflicted hunchback because we're always pressing phone like this. So we don't even know when we're talking to people and we are bent over. All right. Sit up straight. Give confidence. They say fake it till you make it, or package yourself well. Now, one of the things I think that affect people's confidence is that there's something about their dressing that they're not comfortable with. And then they're looking for how to hide it as much as possible. Don't do that to yourself. If you're going for an interview, wear the most comfortable thing that you own. That is professional, of course, but be comfortable. See, you don't want to be in an interview and you're thinking, oh my God, this is my hair. Is it fine? They will tell. You know how they will tell? You will unconsciously be adjusting your hair every time throughout the interview. You know how sometimes somebody say, this is my stomach. It's too bad. Like, me, I didn't notice it till you said it too. It's because you know. That's why you are constantly adjusting, constantly. So try as much as possible to go to an interview comfortable so that you are not distracted by, oh my God, this is my trouser, and I'm shifting it. They will tell, because while you're answering questions unconsciously, your mind will go there and it will show in your expression that you're not comfortable. All right. So go in comfortable clothing, maintain eye contact, have a firm handshake, and please, for God's sake, sit straight up. It's not a sign of respect when you're bending your head down talking to an interviewer. It's not a sign of respect. It's not. It's a sign of lack of confidence that you don't even think that you deserve the job. All right. Now, in answering questions, be concise and use a method that they call the STAR method: situation, task, action, results. Now, because this training is mostly for fresh graduates, and you might be feeling, I don't have any actual work experience, so what am I going to say in an interview? I don't know how many of you heard when Kemi said that it could be when you were on campus, maybe you were part of FYB, final year brethren, you were part of the committee. Do you know that's work experience? That's work experience. It counts as work experience. Or in your church, you help them count money, offering. It's work experience. So, hey, you people, hey, it's work experience. it's just how you phrase it that matters. All right. So no matter how much you think that you are just an undergraduate, you have work experience. Take a situation. I want to explain this situation, task, action, and results. Say the situation is your final year activities. What task did you carry out? You were in charge of receiving payments from all final year students. Action. What did you do? You received payment and also sent out payments when they needed to pay for different things during the activities. For instance, you are the one they elected to collect money for the passing out t-shirts. All right. You received funding from students and then you disbursed to the vendor who produced the t-shirt, and you ensured that the t-shirt was of quality, and this. And what was the result? The result was every person who paid for a t-shirt got their t-shirt in the specific specifications that they made for their shirts. That's work experience. All right. So you want to answer your questions by giving specific examples. Hiring managers like to hear how you have done it before. When you have done it before, how did you handle it? They don't want to hear I will. They want to hear I have, I handled, I did, so always keep that in mind. All right. And at the end of the interview, thank the interviewer for their time. Thank them for their time. Possibly send a follow-up email. Dear hiring manager, we spoke earlier today. Thank you for taking out the time to meet with me. I look forward to going forward or to the next level of interview or to a positive response. I wanted to say something when Carol was asking his question, but Kemi will handle it, where he was saying that if you don't hear back from a hiring manager, follow up. You cannot ghost me, or in this life, you cannot ghost me. You will tell me why. And it's okay. I feel like she will probably address that. It's okay to want to know why you didn't make it through the process. Even if you get a rejection email, it's okay to reply. If they didn't put why in their rejection email, it's okay to say, thank you for your email notifying me that I did not make it to the next level. If it's not too much to ask, may I know why? What happened? What this does for you is it helps you to be better prepared when the next opportunity comes. But if you just say, they did not hire me, you just move on. There's a chance that the mistake that you made that made that person not hire you, make it again in the next interview or the next opportunity that comes up. Okay, so it's very okay. You cannot ghost me in this life. You cannot. Hey, you will tell me why. You will give me a reason. I'll send emails. If they not completely ignore, then I cannot give up. But I always make sure that from my end, I have put in the effort to try and get feedback from an employer before I let go. That's just me, anyways. All right. That's it for me. Kemi would give us the expert angle. All right. I'm not going to do question and answers. Let's have Kemi first. Since he's professional, she'll be the best person to answer the questions that you may have. All right. So thank you for your attention. I have enjoyed this training as much as you probably have. Hopefully you have. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Cynthia Martins, or on Instagram at the Cynthia Omo. All right. Thank you very much. But before we go, the bonus, we're gonna have Kemi. Kemi is a HR professional. She's gonna tell us, now that we have done our part, we have learned how to write email. We have learned how to attach our CV. We have learned how to prepare for the interview. Please, you the hiring people, what are you looking for? All right. Kemi, please take the floor.
Well, Cynthia, thank you so much. That was quite an engaging session. Thank you very much. Okay, let me put on my video so I can put the face to the name. I hope you can all see me. All right. Okay. Good evening once again. My name is Oluwakim Eludele. I am an HR professional. Currently, I work with one of the fintech startups here in Nigeria. All right. So, and then I am currently the human resource business partner for some sales department in my organization. So that's like the summary of what I do at the moment as an HR person. All right. So now that we've spoken about what's it called, I believe your first step in showing yourself or selling yourself to a possible recruiter, a possible organization, or to apply for a vacancy is by showing them applying to the adverts by sending your CV, which is tailored to meet the specifics of the what's it called, the requirements. I mean, there's what we call job descriptions. So when they're applying you for, let's say, a communication expert, or this person can talk audibly, can is very coherent with their speech, and all of that. So your CV has to be very tailored to all of this. And then with Cynthia already addressed the situation where you sell yourself, because that's like your first knock on their door. Oh, I'm Kemi Oludele, I do this and that, I have experience in this and that. For more information, please check the attached below, or please see as attached, and you attach your CV, which is, correctly written and correctly titled. So this is like the first step. So when the recruiter thinks that, oh, this person seems like a good fit for this job position, what they will do is they'll call you for, let's say, the first stage of an interview. So it could be virtual, it could be physical, depending on the procedure for that particular organization. So permit me to share my screen because I wrote some things down. Okay, yeah. What's it saying? Since your screen still on, the same sharing is not on. The host isn't allowing multiple presenters sharing for this moment. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so what I'll be talking about is what HR look out for during an interview session. So like I said, it could be a virtual or a physical interview. So the first thing when you get into an organization is, oh, what kind of aura is this? So permit me to go like a believer. When they say, when you meet somebody, your spirit does not align with that person, or there's some kind of your discernment comes at play or something like that. So I'll just interject that as an aura. So when you see somebody, how is this person dressed? How is this person, the place of, oh, this person is smelling nice, is smelling good, that kind of thing. And those things are like icebreakers. Do you understand? Imagine somebody walking into your organization and meeting the front desk person. Oh, good morning, I'm here for an interview. The person smiles back. Oh, hi, good morning, what's your name? The person checks what's it called, their record, if they're actually expecting you or not. Oh, please sit down. By the way, your dress is nice. Oh, you smell very nicely. As a prospective candidate to be interviewed, you'll be kind of calm that, oh my God, this company is actually big on maybe dressing or something like that, and it actually like calms your nerves. Do you understand? Or the what's it called, front desk person could have actually just make you very relaxed, compared to when they're like, somebody just comes and then is not dressed like a professional, just dressed anyhow. Permit me to use the word like a tout. Do you understand? Trust me, there are some people that they don't dress as if they're coming for an interview. And then even the front desk will be saying, please, what are you here for? We'll be questioning you. Do you understand? So that's what we call an aura. So, I wrote here saying that a good presence, which actually is determined from your dressing. Cynthia was talking about how that you could wear something that will make you uncomfortable and it will show. It is very, very true. So I would advise that whenever you're going for an interview, you should always endeavor to be very comfortable with what you're wearing, either the shoes, your outfit itself, or your makeup. You're not so conscious that, is it too loud? Is my makeup, is my lipstick too much, or something like that? So your good presence, your warm and personal, or your pleasant persona is also very important. Okay, so you're approaching the front desk person saying that, oh, my name is Kemi, I received this interview mail and all of that. The way you approach is also matters. Do you understand? Because there's something we call non-verbal cues. Despite the fact that you're talking, audibly to that other person, there's something we call non-verbal cues. And then if your aura is not smitten enough, I mean, it could get on people's toes. Do you understand? Well, though people in the organization are always trying to be very pleasant to outsiders, people they don't know. But it is also very important that you, as the interviewee, is also like of that same conduct. All right, your impeccable manners, I mean, you're greeting people, I mean, you smile at them. You know how they always say that your smile is always one of your biggest beauty hacks. So you smile, hi, good morning, my name is Kemi, I'm here for an interview, and all of that. So good listening and problem solving skills. So let's say you're already in an interview and then the person or the panel is already asking you questions and then you don't seem to understand. You listen first, don't interject them while they are talking. I mean, and then afterwards you be like, oh, to get you very correctly, do you mean this and this? Or if I get you rightly, or I would like to clarify, do you understand? It shows that you are paying adequate attention. Do you understand? And then your problem solving skills, this could be maybe they ask you a question based on what you have written in your CV. All right, and then it shows as well all your problem solving skills and all of that, your assertiveness when you're talking, your excellent timekeeping. So they called for an interview for, let's say, 10 a.m. I mean, it's always very important to get there at least 30 minutes before, 15 minutes before your interview. So I had, because this actually shows, goes a long way to shows how you would even be as an employee when employed by the organization. Will you be a latecomer or always coming late, always having some excuse or the other? Now, understand that, for example, the last organization I worked for, whenever we even say interviews by 10, of course, we expect people to be even there by 10. But then in cases that you cannot get there, especially because it is Lagos. I'm in Lagos, so traffic sometimes is unpredictable. Sometimes they can close the road without prior information. You know, things like that can just happen, which is beyond your control. It is important that you reach out to the person that sent you the interview. Oh, hi, good afternoon. Maybe most of the times there's always a number to call. So if somebody sends you a message for an interview, they will always ask you for more clarification. Kindly reach blah 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 on this particular line. So they will always reach out to the interview. So try to call them. Oh, hi, I'll be 10 or 15 minutes late. Just estimate your time, and it is better to give yourself an ample time. So you don't tell them that I'll be there in 5 minutes, and by 5 minutes you're calling again. Give me extra 5 minutes. Give me extra 10 minutes. Just estimate like, oh, there's this traffic and all of that. Please, I would like to reschedule, but I'll still be there. Just try to you carry them along. It shows your accountability. Do you understand? Imagine if you're already an employee and you have a meeting and you cannot reach them and you're not even communicating. Number one, you're getting them worried. Like, I hope this person is fine. Number two, you're showing a bad work ethic. Do you understand? So always ensure that your time management is always very important. And remember that you're trying to sell yourself. Okay, so if it's that you are outside, let's say the interview is going to happen in Lagos, it is very important. So you should have gotten into Lagos if you're outside of the state before that day. So you just to eliminate any form of error that could happen. So I was talking about aura. These are the things I give. So I'll give an example. There was a particular time a guy, one of the people, okay, so the last organization I worked for, this is how we run our interviews. So we run according to how they came in. Do you understand? Remember I said sometimes we give grace. Sometimes some of them would have called earlier that, oh, I'll be this so many number of minutes late. All right, things like that. So we kind of attend to them as they come, right? And this particular person came in late, and normally we have what's it called, a record just by the front desk person that, oh, this person, oh, Cynthia Martins came in 7 o'clock. Kemi Ludele came in 5 o'clock. Ejalo Nibu Wasiu came in 2 o'clock, something like that. So you're meant to write your name and how the time you came in, because this will give us the idea on. Sorry. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, Kemi, we can still see your screen.
All right, okay. Because this gives them just the idea of when you came into the organization. So this person now came in late and discovered that, oh, they even attended to one person. So instead of a person to write the exact time, so the time now is 5:14. So I meant to write 5:14, and because I knew this meeting should have started around 4, and I wrote 4 o'clock. Do you know that actually shows integrity level of that person? And what my MD said was, oh, we're not going to conduct that interview for that kind of person because he does not want this kind of person in his organization. So your aura and all of that actually encompass in giving you an idea. I'm talking from a recruiter angle now of who this person is, this character of this person. So a one personality cannot be hidden. It is important to put your best self-forward when selling yourself to be employed. Also, when you're being introduced to the panel, oh, meet our MD, this person's, they mention the person name, meet the HR manager, meet the HR VP. I mean, when they introduce these people to you, do as if it's like what's it called, an interactive session. Oh, nice to meet you. I'm glad to be here, and I really look forward to joining your team. I mean, it just shows your eagerness. It shows how you're so enthusiastic about not just the position, but even working for the organization. So the next thing is, after you're all right, I mean, you have sat down, they want to start interviewing you and all of that. So the culture fit. So your CV is already open in front of the interview, the person interviewing you. So are you culture fit? I mean, this would have been checked when you sent in your CV, your cover letter, and all of that. Are you culture fit? So we check how that your job descriptions matches what we're looking for. And then number two, your culture fit. So for example, one of the things that within my current organization is that we prefer to work with Gen Zs, majorly because it's a fintech startup. All right, so we believe that they still have, you know, the tenacity and the ability to stretch and then do so much more than the baby bloomers, the millennials, and, you know, all those Generation X and all of that. So they will prefer to not employ people higher than 40. Not like they don't employ people higher than 40, but if you see anybody being employed and is higher than 40, it's probably because they are very professional and they are like consultants. Do you understand, for the organization? Okay. So that's the culture fit. So somebody is coming and is looking like one big madam, especially for a job position that will require you traveling up and down. One of the, are you married? So trust me, they ask all of these questions. Do you have children? Because apart from being an employee, it is very important that you're well balanced in generally across all areas of your life. Talking about physically balanced, talking about mentally balanced, talking about being emotionally balanced. For example, one of the things I learned from my former MD was that it takes into cognizance your location. All right, because he believes that, see, Lagos is stressful on its own. How much more when you're now spending hours upon hours in commuting from your place of work and your place of abode? Like, you'll be stressed. Do you understand? So he put into cognizance such that we even have accommodation for some people if like they are very, very valuable to the organization. We see them like they're very valuable. So you will consider your, even ask you, are you planning to move? Because he wants you at your best. Because if you're not delivering, your KPI will not be KPIing. It will tell on your performance at the end of the month. And what's now the essence of being terminated after like few months of getting into an organization? So those are the things that we look out for as culture fit. And that's why they always advise that when you're writing an application or tailoring your CV to a particular organization, take into cognizance the location. So even if you're not staying in Lagos, for example, I'm not asking you to lie, but look for maybe a family member or a friend that's staying around and use their address. It goes a long way. It goes a long way. And I believe that as I'm putting out these pointers, I'm already answering the question that I think it was Carol that asked that question earlier. So these are the key pointers that we look out for. You know, for example, we did, I'm not in the TA team currently where I work because I'm HRBP, but most of the time when my department wants people, I liaise with the TA team, and then sometimes I join their interview. So there was this particular interview we had, and the person saying around Apapa, after that Apapa, and my organization is just here in Ikeja. So number one, we already have a budget for the role. And then, you know, this whole thing happened of recent, like 2 weeks ago. And then she had to come back. Those were the things. I don't think she has resumed yet because we are still deliberating, going back and forth. Can you accept this? Can you accept that? Because she had to up her game that, and my job is fully on-site. It's not hybrid. So if you're coming every day, you know how transportation has gone so high. So those are the things we consider. So it is just very important that you put into consideration the address of the organization and all of that.
So sorry to interrupt, Kemi. I've gotten a notification that the call might end soon. So please, let's just join again. I'm so sorry for the trouble.
Okay. All right. All right. So the candidates must fit into the social environment. I already talked about the Gen Z culture kind of thing, and then the culture of the organization. Then cultural fit is very essential, is an essential aspect of the organization, as it ensures that the company values, beliefs, behaviors align with those of its employees. Like I said, the example I gave of the guy that I wrote an earlier time, despite resuming late, also already shows its value and belief system. So those are the pointers they look out for. I've done this, I currently work as this, and all of that. And okay, what do you understand about this job role? And then you be like, I think it's like, oh my God, that means you were not prepared. You were just shooting your shots. We are just sliding into different companies' DM. So please, preparation is always very important. So yeah, I wrote that someone who is prepared for their interview should have an understanding of the company. And this is where your questions at the end of the day comes up. Oh, I saw on your website that you do this and that. It doesn't mean this, or can you expatiate? It means that you've done your thorough research, and it also shows your eagerness to even know about the company and even join the company. So your preparation it cannot be overemphasized. So I always say like questions like, can we meet you? What do you know about the company? What do you know about the position you're applying for? Do you have a question for us? They're all important in deciding your entry into an organization. Then your preparation shows your work ethics. So imagine let's say you're in the research team or you're in the project management team, and then you are evaluating products of different companies such that some other competitors are also offering that your products. You do thorough research. It shows that this person can fit in. If the person wants to know how this particular organization works, the person can do a very thorough research. Do you understand? Because sometimes they will ask you, oh, how do you get to know about our company? And then you say, oh, somebody that worked maybe in another branch of that company told you about that company, and then the way you engage them will just show that you've asked this person thorough questions. Do you understand? So it determines a lot, and it shows your preparation shows a lot. So to end this, I would like to say that, how they always say luck is always what happens. Me, I would say success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. That saying that they always say that if you meet, let's say, Dangote or Tedola in an elevator and you have like 5 seconds to sell yourself, if you had prepared well, you will get connect. Do you understand? For that 5 seconds, do you understand? So success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So I'll use my example or my situation as an example. So funny how I studied nutrition and dietetics and I'm working in HR, right? So when I share these stories, it's always very funny. So what happened was that I had already done my dietetics internship when I was in school. I did it at LASUT. But then I was always thinking about life hospital. We see different people with kind of ailments. So it was scaring me. I'm like, when I have to think about life, I'm being an empathetic person. So I just said, like, okay, my NYSC, I was going to explore the nutritional aspect. So if you study nutrition and dietetics, you're always a graduate nutritionist. And if you do your license, just like that housemanship that doctors do, you become a dietitian. So like, I was going to explore my nutritional aspect to really know what will be my interest in the long run. So as God will have it, I got into an organization that they were doing something edible, and the opportunity to work in any department that is doing anything that edible was not open as at then, and the only opportunity that stood out for me was for HR. In fact, I had to it was between me and my other core member that we had to sell ourselves. And what helped me was how that I told them how I was part of committees, doing these programs, doing these conferences, and they saw my time management skills, they saw my team management skills, because that's what you do practically in HR. You work with a lot of people. Those were the key pointers, and it just shows my eagerness, to be in HR. Do you understand how to put my organizing, my planning? Oh, we planned for this event. This is the way we actually spoke to sponsors. I mean, those things go a long way, and that is why they always say you should not always just go through school. Allow school to pass through you. Ensure that, especially at your final year, at that final year, I'd already permuted and combined my CGPA. So that was when I started now exploring, and got so good. I had several friends that were also of the same orientation as I am. So it was kind of very easy to flow in that direction. And when the opportunity came, because when I got into that organization, I was like, this is where I'm meant to be. God, I started calling my mommy and daddy, please pray, they will not give me a rejection letter. So that was how I got in there. And that was how I started my CIPM. And here we had today. When the opportunity came in Lagos, I was transferred to Lagos, and here we had today. So don't take any learning, for granted. You don't know when it's going to be very useful, and always prepare well. Whenever you are you are opportune to be at a particular place or do something, do it at your best. You know how scriptures always say, what your hands finds doing, always do it well. Do you understand? And see a man that is diligent in his ways, he will stand before kings and ordinary men. So just put that into consideration. And I pray that God will help everyone. So it's a pleasure to be here. I don't know if there's any question. Please, let's ask so that we can end this in a few minutes. Thank you, Cynthia.
Wow. Thank you so much, Kemi. I feel like I want to give you, how do they do e-clap? Like, how do they clap for people?
On Zoom, right?
On Zoom, or how do they do it?
I'm familiar with the Google Meet
Anyways, me, I'm
e-clap.
clapping for you. You see, I wanted to say something while you were talking. I don't know if you guys noticed them. When I was talking, how many of you felt like Kemi and I were saying the same thing? Let me shock you. We did not compare our slides. Matter of fact, I did not even know. I did not even know that she was going to share a slide. I thought she was going to talk to us. You know, it was very last minute. It was just yesterday, I think, that I just put it up that what bonus can I give to people? Let me find a HR specialist. So I didn't expect her to come up with a whole slide and look at the similarities in the things that we said in preparing for an interview. Your personality, your confidence, how you dress, how you talk, how you communicate. We didn't plan to say those things. That's just to tell you that they are very important. I said it and I'm not even an HR person. I just know that I've been doing it and it's been working for me. And now we've heard it from a HR personnel, how super important it is that you carry yourself with confidence, that you dress comfortably for an interview, that your communication is top. Like how she said that the way you send the CV matters. It's what will stand you out from the many CVs that they received for that role. All right. And man, I'm happy that I did this. And I really hope that I really hope that you put to practice the things that you have heard today. These things work. It's very simple and it's also not simple at the same time. It's not, when I say not simple, I mean if you commonize it, you will not pay attention to it. But at the same time, they're very, very easy tips. I'm glad we did this. And I'm glad we're able to record this session. So I think maybe upload this session to my YouTube channel so that people can go and watch it over and over again. If you joined in late, I'm sorry. But like I said, the recording is available. Oh, someone said, please, can we get the recording? Just joining, had an exam. How did your exam go, Esther? So sorry about that. No worries. I recorded all the sessions. I will merge them into one video and I will put them up on my YouTube channel. I have everybody's email addresses. I will send the link to the recording to you. Trust me, you want to listen to this. It was, I don't know. Okay, let me not be as if I'm hyping myself by myself. They wanted to kill you today, but thank God, oh, thank God.
Was that?
God. Thank God. You will pass, don't worry. You will pass, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I'll put up the recording on my YouTube channel and I'll send the link to everybody's email addresses. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you so much, Kemi. I mean, you did a full slide.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I said that I was going to give a prize to the first person that joined. Technically, I did not say it. I just said it. I said it to myself by myself.
Yeah.
But that's the benefit of punctuality, you know, very, very, very important stuff. All right. I think I wrote down the name of the person that joined in first. It was Peace Igwe. I don't know if she's still here. With the way the call dropped multiple times, I hope she didn't fall off along the way. Oh my God, she's not here. Oh, what do you guys think I should do? Let me open it to the house. Should I try to find her email address and reach out to her? Or should I give it to the second person who came in? Somebody
just came in.
Okay. Oh my God. I don't know what to do. I should give the last person. Esther. That's not fair. That's not fair to all the people that have been here now. Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it open. Now, the truth is, I can be quite a busy person. I have work, I'm a mom, I have my hands in a lot of pies.
Sorry, Cynthia. Sorry.
Yeah.
I would like to leave now. I'm actually at an event, so I just
no
escaped
problem at all.
myself
Thank you so much, Kemi. Everybody say thank you to Kemi. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you too.
Okay. What I wanted to say. What do I do? Mommy, I'm a child. Your child, though. You people. Okay. So I'm going to show this open. First 5 people to. But you guys don't have my email address. Okay, I'm going to drop my email address. Okay, let's do it like this. To be like a game. It will be like a game. First 5 people to send me a mail. And you have to need it, please. You have to need it because it will be unfair for me to invest my time and you don't see it as something valuable. Time is like the most valuable resource. Especially for someone like me. If I'm giving you my time, trust me, I love you. First 5 people send me an email after this meeting will get 1 month of constant. 1 month is a lot. So hey, please, 2 weeks. 2 weeks of constant coaching. We'll talk on WhatsApp. I will respond to every and any question you might have about job applications. And during that 2 weeks, if I know of any job openings based on your CV that you share with me, if I know of any job openings or internships, I will send them your way. I will prepare you for the interview. I will I will help you write the body of the email that you use in sending your CV. I'll give you all of those services. Basically, free, I don't want to call it mentorship, but that's kind of like what it is for 2 weeks. Any and every question you may have. If you have a job interview, I'll prepare for you. If you want to send out your CV, I'll help you with the body of email, how to send it. I will not help you with I will help you review your CV, but I will not help you write your CV. I'll help you review it. You send me your CV, I'll go through it and I'll give you pointers.